All right, everyone, welcome back to the DBTalks Football Podcast. Today we're going to be breaking down Barcelona's 2-1 comeback win over Eintracht Frankfurt in the Champions League phase. So before kickoff, obviously Barca were right outside the top eight. We were kind of low in the table, and after this win, we slightly moved up. So hopefully there is still a small chance that we finish in the top eight. But we did need this win, and especially after that Chelsea defeat, it was important to at least get the 3 points today. And obviously on Frankfurt's end, they were also trying to fight to stay alive in the qualification, picture. And then today there was a bit of history in this game. Obviously, we met Frankfurt in the Europa League a couple years ago, and many of us remember how our stadium was actually dominated by Frankfurt fans because a lot of Barcelona fans sold the tickets to Frankfurt fans, and he ended up losing to them in the Europa League. So honestly, today was like a revenge night for Barcelona. And I think tonight there was a much better atmosphere because I feel the new Camp Nou had a lot of confidence in this team to get the 3 points. So yeah, a great game great atmosphere in this game. But I think overall from this game, I think we did see a couple troubling signs, especially in the first half. But I think overall we did kind of clutch up and get those three important points. So Brajesh, if you want to talk about the lineups.
Keeper João Garcia as always. I think João Garcia made some. I think he has to save Barcelona today because I think Barcelona's defense was overall kind of weak and giving up too many chances and like shots. And João Garcia made some pretty good and pretty important saves. So I think he's definitely one of the better players today on against both sides. And I think so far I think he's shown that he's been a very good sign for Barcelona. He's been obviously Barcelona has been looking for a keeper to replace Ter Stegen because Ter Stegen is he's older. He's gonna probably retire soon or leave Barca soon. So, Barcelona needed a long-term replacement. I think João Garcia has kind of shown that he can definitely be reliable for that. So yeah, he was the keeper. Left back Balde. I think Balde was actually pretty good today. I think he always has that trait of just being scary offensively, but also the speed is also good at tracking back as well. But I do think because Barcelona did concede the goal that Barcelona conceded, I think Balde. I mean, I'm not gonna try and blame him, but I think he could have done a bit better, which is trying to tackle and block the shot. But I think that sequence was just a mess on Barcelona's end because Gerard Martín missed the he couldn't block it properly. So I mean, besides that, I think Balde was good. And then left center back, as I mentioned, Gerard Martín. I think Gerard Martín was. He was okay, nothing too special. I do like that he took the one shot in the first half to try to test the keeper and try to get the goal because at the start of the game, Frankfurt kind of hard to break down. So taking a shot outside the box, it's a good way of trying to get a goal. And he was kind of close, but it was a good save by the keeper. And he did get a yellow. And I think he did have some shaky moments, like I mentioned, the first concede. I think he could have done better, but I think besides that, it was okay, but I still think the defense has some issues. And then right center back, Cubarsí. So, I mean, I think Cubarsí, again, kind of like Gerard Martín, he was okay. I think he did make some mistakes. Like, for example, I believe near the second half, around near the end of the game, I think he made a poor clearance that went to the Frankfurt attack, and they had a good chance off that, but they didn't score. But, yeah, I think the problem that I've noticed with this defense was just like the clearing. It's not that great. I think it's very sloppy and most of the time ends up going to the opposition, which if anything gives them like a better chance at scoring. So I think that's just an issue that I noticed this game specifically. Right back Koundé, the man of the hour, he got the two goals and the two goals that Barcelona scored at both headers, both from crosses. So I mean, yeah, I think besides those two goals, I think Koundé actually was also solid. I think his form is definitely improving. He did also have the issue of like not clearing the ball properly and it going to the opposition defender, so that can definitely be improved. But he did get the two goals and got Barca the win in the comeback, so definitely props to him. I think even overall, I think his link-up play with Lamine Yamal is very good, and he's very good at making those just runs with the Lamine Yamal plays 1-2s and make overlaps, underlaps, both of those. So I think Koundé was definitely good. And then the double pivot, so again, it was De Jong didn't start. It was Eric Garcia and Pedri. And I think Eric Garcia was definitely, solid today. I think I think the midfield though is mainly controlled and I guess determined by Pedri. I just want to talk about Pedri a bit. I think Pedri today was spectacular. I think he was everywhere today. I think something like a lot about Pedri is that he always puts in like 100 and like 200, 500% effort, because he was running all the time, trying to press as much as he can, trying to get the ball as much as he can, covering spaces, and he made a lot of very good defensive contributions. Like he was able to tackle and win the ball back. He always receives the ball from like the center back position, and he even has the crazy touches. I remember that one touch where like over like his heel behind him, and then he got the pass to Rashford. That was, I don't know how a human can do that, but he did it. I think this game just proves more and more how crucial Pedri is for Barcelona. I think he was like the main, like the controller for Barcelona. Everything kind of ran by him, and yeah, I think it was amazing today. I remember he also had that one pass to Rafinha where Rafinha was on a run and he made a very good through ball, and then Rafinha, he tried to pass it to Firmino, but the pass got blocked. But I think Pedri is just incredible, and no doubt I think he's the best midfielder in the world. And I think he's definitely been Barcelona's best player this season so far, just based off like consistency and importance, and just what he does. So yeah, let's move on to the front four. So yeah, the front four. So Firmino played attacking mid and 10. He came back. He was starting. So he was coming back from injury, and he did play minutes last game, but he started this game. So I was surprised. I was surprised that things didn't change. Like I thought Rashford might have started. I guess Rashford wasn't playing. Left wing was Rafinha. I think Rafinha definitely, like, we know that Rafinha had that one assist in the offside goal to Lewandowski. It was a very good cross. And I think Rafinha overall was good. I do think one thing about him today that I do want to point out is I think his passing was a bit sloppy. Yeah, I mentioned earlier the Pedri pass to him and how he tried to pass it to Rafinha. I think he could have done better there. And there is moments where he could have passed better. I think the passing was sloppy, but I still think Rafinha is super crucial to the team. He was obviously wearing the captain armband before he got subbed off with De Jong, and he just brings this energy, and I think he's someone that he's definitely like a fan favorite player, and someone that gets the energy up, and that's someone you definitely need in a team. And then right winger, obviously Lamine Yamal. I think Lamine Yamal is also amazing today. I really like his dribbling and just how attacking minded he was today. He kind of held the ball a lot, which a lot of people would criticize, but I think he didn't, like, when he had the ball, I think he used it pretty well. So yeah, I think he was definitely very good. He obviously got the second assist to Koundé. Like he got one assist, and it was the second goal to Koundé. He got that assist. Very, very good cross from him. Very good cross. And yeah, I think Lamine Yamal again is showing levels. I just saw a stat earlier today that I think he surpassed Mbappe in, I believe, UCL GA for players under 18, something like that. Which again, he's breaking records. He's just that special to watch, So yeah, but I do think one thing I will. Oh yeah, also he did get a yellow card, which means that he's gonna miss the next game versus, is it Copenhagen or Slavia?
Slavia Prague, I think.
Slavia Prague, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna miss that game. You can look at it two ways. You could say one, his absence would definitely affect Barca's attack and just how smooth they play. But then you can also look at it as like he's getting more rest, which is obviously very good for his long-term health and just endurance and all of that. So, I'm sure Barcelona can definitely perform and get the result. They don't need him, so it's probably better he has a rest. But I do want to kind of point out that I do think something I noticed with Lamine Yamal was just his attitude sometimes, like his reaction to like decisions, like if a ball is called out and it's not a Barcelona ball, or he commits a foul and he thinks it's not a foul, he kind of has like a bit of a temper reaction, which I think isn't good, because that can lead to a lot of arguments and potential bookings, even more bookings. Like, we see with like Madrid, even the other day, like they react a lot to the ref, and the ref isn't hesitant to give them a card. So that's just something to be careful about, because you don't know what the ref is really thinking. So I think he should definitely prove that, but at the same time, he's only 18. It comes with age. He's gonna obviously try to improve it as his career goes on. I even noticed the same with Rashford today, but yeah, I think if anything improve, hopefully that improves, because I think having a mentality like that, it kind of weakens the team a bit more by just, having those reactions. I think you just gotta somehow move on, because most of the time that decision is not gonna get turned around no matter what you do. So, yeah, and then up top, Lewandowski, he got the offside goal. And I mean, besides that, I mean, I think he was okay. I think his hold-up play is still good, but I don't think he did as much as you try to expect him to, especially versus a team like Frankfurt, who I think has definitely been a pretty weak team in the UCL, and even conceded goals to Leipzig in the last Bundesliga game. I think you'd expect Barcelona attack to be stronger, and the striker being one of them. But I mean, yeah, that's all I have to say for the lineup. I think could have been better, honestly, the game.
Yeah, I mean, moving on to Frankfurt's lineup, obviously we know a couple guys like Götze and Knauf scored a winner for that big crazy goal banger against us in the Europa League. So he did end up scoring today as well. So I guess he has some kind of vendetta against us. But I mean, looking back at the Barca's perspective, I think our overall team was really sloppy today. I don't think we were fluid enough as we usually are in our best form. And especially like our heavy hitters like Pedri, I think he was pretty good. Yamal, I just yeah. Apart from that assist, I don't think he did like too much. Obviously, he had those good dribbles, and he was trying his best to make those chances. But I just think the overall team have struggled with everything. Again, Lewandowski, I don't think he was really involved as much. Rafinha, again, he brings that energy, but again, overall, I don't think he was as involved. So yeah, I think overall this team display was not as promising as we were looking forward to it being, because obviously we mentioned in the last video that Frankfurt were in bad form. But I guess looking to the first half, obviously we started like with both sides kind of going at each other, and we mentioned this before, like it's been a big issue for Barca this season where we concede the early goal or we always concede first, and this happened again today. And obviously you mentioned it a bit in the intro, but it was I guess Gerard Martin kind of like lost the ball. I think like he tried to intercept it, but it kind of missed. And then Bali kind of tried to catch up to Knauf. And then, anyways, it was a good finish from Knauf in general. But I do think that goal was kind of could have been prevented by either Gerard Martin, who kind of like after he lost that ball, I think he kind of was slow to catching up to the player. And obviously Bali, I think he could have blocked it. He was really close, but again, I think that was an avoidable goal to concede. I do think again this is a transition chance where always whenever I guess the other team can play a through ball, I think it's really easy for them to find the pass and just kind of get hit through goal and get a one-on-one chance. So I think we do need to start preventing it. But we do know that this season with this defense that we have, we're always going to concede chances. We're always going to concede those one-on-one situations. So it's our best way to win is to score more goals as we always do, and to convert our chances and be clinical. So I think that was the main issue in the first half. We were not being as clinical, and also we were just not creating enough chances, like clear-cut chances to score. So I think those were the main issues in the first half. And I think after that kind of first goal, I think Barca kind of just tried to bring possession back to their side and have a couple of shots. But again, we lacked that killer finish to score a goal. And obviously, Pedri kind of tried to find a couple of passes, but some of his passes were kind of off today. I think the whole team, I don't know why, we were just a bit off in the first half. And obviously, players like Lewandowski, I felt like he was a bit static. And there was that one Yamal shot that was kind of blocked in outside the box. And I do think going into halftime, I think it was kind of disappointing, like being 1-0 down against Frankfurt, who just lost like 6-0 in the Bundesliga. So I think it was really disappointing. And I think Flick had to make some changes, and he did. He brought on Rashford for Fermin. I think Fermin had a bad display. I don't think he wasn't as involved. And I also saw him drifting over to the left side often because Rafinha going to the right side or cam position. So I do think Firmino was kind of isolated and he was not in his best position. And obviously, again, he was kind of recovering and just coming back from his injury. So again, he's just been in a slightly bad patch of form since coming back from injury. But I do think he will obviously improve. But then, yeah, going into the second half, I think right as Rashford came on, I think he made a big change overall in this team. I think having Rashford on the field and then pushing Rafinha more centrally, I think that did help it in our attack. And obviously, Koundé started pushing higher on the right, almost acting as a wing back for us on our attack positionings. And Firmino was kind of like obviously he was taken off, so I guess we didn't have as many runs. So almost Koundé was giving us those runs in the box, and Pedri was obviously dropping deeper to kind of dictate the play. And I do feel like we came out really aggressive. So we obviously got that first goal in the 50th minute. So I think this was really good. I think it was a great cross from Rashford. I think he had almost trademarked that kind of cross. We've seen him do it a couple of times this season, get that similar type of assist. So really good from Rashford. I think that was also a great run from Koundé, and I think really a good kind of, I guess, start second half. And obviously almost at one both of Koundé's goals, he was almost acting like as a striker. So great runs from him, to be fair. And just 3 minutes later, we saw Koundé get a second goal. Again, it was from a corner. We kind of got the rebound, and Lamine Yamal gets a ball, and then he kind of just launches it into the box and gets to there's Koundé again, because yeah, again he finds that space, he finds that run, and then a great head from him to tuck it into the net, and then we get that lead. I thought from that point, I thought we would dominate more. I think we would get more goals, but I do think we kind of after those two goals, we tried to hold possession more, and kind of our domination kind of fell off a bit, and it was kind of more balanced, I'd say. And yeah, I think another underrated part of Koundé, I think, is his runs, especially with Lamine Yamal, and also Yamal's set piece quality. I think it is really underrated because he has a lot of crosses, and then I think that those crosses are kind of a dangerous part of his game. And I think yeah, after 2-1, I think Barca did have a couple more chances to, I guess, kill the game, but again, we didn't really take many more chances after that. I think when it got to like the 70th minute, 80th minute, I think we were just trying to like hold down our play and, I guess, keep possession and defend as much as we can. So I think that was really important. And then obviously later in the game, we saw Frankie de Jong come on, we saw Ferran Torres come on, and then really late in the game we saw Christensen and Bargy come on. So I think I don't think they had a really big impact per se, the other substitutions, but obviously I think because we were trying to hold down this lead, it was really important to, I guess, just have more legs that could be fresh runners, and I guess press more. I think the press in this game was actually really good, but I guess the overall like fluid play we always see in the season in our prime, we didn't see that as much today, which was kind of an issue. From you?
Yeah, so I guess I want to also mention, but especially in the first half, even the second half as well, I guess both halves, I noticed a lot that with like the attack and even the midfield, a lot everyone was kind of, no one was static, everyone was moving around and like transitioning positions. Like for example, Lamine would even go into the middle, even the left sometimes a little bit, but mainly the middle and the right. And Rafinha would go off to the right as well. And I think that's very good I guess positioning from Barcelona, just like letting players have more freedom and roaming around wherever they want to be, and like trying changing up where they are every time in the game to, not make it so repetitive, like the play style and just the tactics that are set out. Having Lamine go to the, because Lamine's always gonna be defended by so many players on the right, and letting him roam around in the center kind of shifts their focus away. Maybe shifts it towards Lamine, where someone like Rafinha on the right can be very dangerous. So I think that's very good. And even the second half when Firmino got subbed off for Rashford, right? And then you had Rashford on the left then. And then I noticed Pedri and De Jong even pushed up, and after even Lewandowski, when Lewandowski got subbed off and even Rafinha got subbed off, they pushed up even further. Pedri was up, De Jong was up, and like they kind of moved around the whole game. And I really like that, I guess, change and just letting players be wherever, like trying to change where they are, letting them be in different areas to let them have control in different parts of the game. I think that's something that I like from Flick today, because we see a lot of good teams have that kind of principle where a player isn't stuck to one certain area on the field. They can go around anywhere. I mean, that's kind of how Pep kind of had his Barca team as well, where he had like very strict, I guess, zones where players would be at all times. But I mean, his tactics is obviously different from Flick's, but the principle of just having players be in different areas at different parts of the game, I think that's just very good. So it's nice seeing Lamine, not staying on the right, because when we saw him play at the 10 last game, he was incredible, I think. So obviously having him in the center definitely helps a lot. Having Pedri push up, De Jong push up, it was also very good. I guess one thing I also want to kind of point out is just I feel like the atmosphere around Barcelona is very mixed. also with the Rahul news that we got, I think we got today, right? Not yesterday. The whole
Yeah,
Israel
today.
thing. It was today, right? Yeah, I kind of. I slept like 4 a.m. But yeah, today is just. It was a weird, and even I remember when I was watching the game. I watched it a bit later. I was watching on my own, but when I watched it, I noticed that when the camera panned to Ter Stegen was very like visibly upset. You can even see Fran next to him. I was kind of confused why he's upset. My first guess was probably that he wants to start and play because he's in the squad, and you always know they have the desire to start, but I'm not sure if that's the actual reason. But just that, like seeing that from a player, is kind of disturbing. So I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if it's huge of an issue, but the Urao situation is definitely something that should be more, I guess, talked about within just Barcelona and like the club because sure having a player who's he was a starter and a club captain this season, leave to vacation or I mean like a mental health break in the middle of the season is just I guess it's kind of difficult to go through, and it's just the atmosphere is a bit dying. Even when Lamine Yamal got subbed off, he looked very frustrated. I'm not sure why. If I were to guess, it was more so the decisions from the ref, like the yellow card that makes him miss the next game. I think he was kind of upset by that and just the decisions overall. I don't know if it's really about him being subbed off because he kind of got subbed off in the later part of the game, so I don't think it was about that. But yeah, I think Barcelona need to control the reactions a lot better. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like with Barcelona, there are a few players that just are kind of killing the vibe. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen really, but that stuff can definitely affect on the pitch results. So like with the Rajo stuff, like his kind of had like a built-in, I guess, like he's losing confidence, and that kind of led to his mistakes and at least even more worse things. So yeah, I just think that's something to look out for. But yeah, just with the game, I do agree. I think it's a bit more I guess underwhelming, especially because we see Barca usually score a lot and usually take control even like after coming back and like scoring goals, and that didn't really happen today. So I don't know. It's just weird. I think the attack had to do better. I think a lot of chances were unlucky to miss. I mean, Fran had some chances. Lamine had some chances. Rafinha has chances. So yeah, it's just unlucky to not score more. I think again, like it was so close. The defense was like very struggling at parts of the game as well. I think Frankfurt had a lot of great chances that they could have scored. But luckily, they weren't able to. John Garcia made some good saves. They even hit the crossbar. Yeah, they had the crossbar once. They had some good chances that were offside. So yeah, it's just. I think this performance kind of shows that Barcelona have a lot more work to do, especially if they want to win the the Liga, the UCL, and everything. There has to be a lot more improvement in a lot of areas of just the team.
Yeah, I think overall, I mean, thankfully this game ended 2-1 for Barca. I think this 3 points were really important for Barca's hopes to get in the top eight. And I mean, looking at the stats in this game, Barca had around like 76% possession. So a lot of possession we held. I think, as you mentioned before in the season, our best method of defense in this game is to always hold possession as much as possible. So I do think we did get more solid defensively when we did hold the ball more. And we did have a lot of shots. We had 19 shots compared to Frankfurt 6. So I do think we dominated overall. I just felt like we didn't create enough clear-cut chances as we normally do when we're at our best. So I think that could have been improved for today. And we had over like 700 passes compared to like Frankfurt's almost 200. So again, we did really dominate. I just felt like we could have created more promising chances overall. I think obviously shout out to Koundé. He did really come in clutch for us. He got two important goals to, I guess, win us this game. And I do feel like overall in this game, he was really important and he did have a pretty decent game defensively. And looking at the league table, I think this game really is important. I think it brings us up to our 14th place. And we are tied with Chelsea, who did lose today. So we're a lot of teams right now are on 10 points. Obviously, teams like City and Dortmund have to play tomorrow, so they might bump up ahead with their 13 points. So I do think there's still like a small chance Barca gets top eight, but it is looking slightly unlikely. We do have we have to rely on other teams losing and stuff to possibly get in there. But I do think, I mean, if we do go in the, I guess, knockout phase where we have to, I guess, face another team, hopefully we do get a pretty decent team. I do think even if we go in the knockout phase, we do finish like either like 10th or 11th in the league table. So I think that gives us a pretty decent team. I think it gives us a 23rd team or 24th team. So I think, yeah, hopefully we do get someone pretty easy to get into the round of 16 and all that. But I do think my three stand-up players from this game, I don't obviously put Koundé there. I think both those goals were really, really important from him. Obviously, Pedri has to be in there. And honestly, yeah, I put Yamal in there. I think he was really good today. Shout out to Gerard Martin. I think he had a pretty decent game apart from that obvious like goal. I think he's actually going to this like left center back position really well. So I think it's good to see Flick really using him and I guess developing him in that role. And yeah, I guess a major thing for Martin to work on is just his overall decision making when he's at defense. And I do think his ball playing is actually pretty decent because he is left footed. So being on the left side of the defense is really important for a player like that. And yeah, what are your thoughts?
So I guess for my standout players, the man of the match for me, honestly, I give it to Pedri just because I was so, I guess, impressed by just, I don't know, I think today he was just incredible. I think he was so good at keeping possession, and making pretty good passes to try to create chances, and just winning the ball back. I think defensively he was honestly like probably better than most, probably the best honestly like defender for Barca, just because he was tracking back a lot and actually winning the ball and making crucial tackles and had very good pressing. And I think that was just very important for Barcelona to keep possession and like trying to prevent Frankfurt from creating or score or potentially scoring more. So I think Pedri is just super important on both the offensive end and the defensive end, and just again controlling the whole game. I think he only he can like control a game like that. He like everything ran through him. Al is just, I think, I'm out of words. It's just, I don't know what to say. He's just so good, and I was very impressed by today. I think this and he played the full 90. He played the whole game too. So I mean, there was this time where he got knocked out, he got fouled, and he was down. I got scared because he was like holding his leg, so I wasn't sure. I was hoping he wasn't injured or anything. So I do hope that he does get like rest, because obviously he's so important. And like when he was out for his injury, we saw Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona were okay, like, just okay, but then the Chelsea performance was a disaster. So I don't know. I just think his preservance is just it's key. So yeah, I do give him my man of the match. I just think today, because it's Barcelona's most important player, though I do respect a lot Koundé's two goals. I think that definitely helped Barca win the game. Like he was able to score those. That was the only time Barca was able to score. But I just think overall Pedri's kind of kept Barca in the whole game by keeping possession, just doing everything. And the other standout players, so obviously I think Lamine Yamal was pretty good with his dribbling today, and yeah, I think he was pretty good. He's a very scary player, and I like that he has more freedom, and that he was able to. I think his dribbling was very good today, so he didn't lose the ball too much, and I think he definitely could have done more. He could have gone a goal, but he did get an assist, so that was the game-winning assist, so that was nice. And yeah, obviously Koundé, two goals. I do think Joan Garcia was also amazing today. He made some pretty crucial saves. And one thing I like a lot is that, if someone takes a shot, he's able to stop with his hands instead of having to instead of having the ball hit his hand and going out for a corner kick, he's able to actually stop the ball and just keep it. So I think that's good. And also, he's a very good sweeper keeper. So a lot of there's moments where Frankfurt, had a player that was ahead of the Barcelona defense, and they were kind of run, but Joan Garcia is there to run and get the ball and stop that. So I think that was just a very good on Joan Garcia, and he was definitely very important for today's win. I think without him, I think Barcelona probably would have struggled more if someone like Szczesny was in net, because some of the saves that Joan Garcia made, I think it would be hard for Szczesny to make. Not necessarily saying that he would have conceded it, but I think Joan Garcia is just the better keeper, and he's definitely proved that he's probably one of the better keepers, honestly, in the world right now. So there's that. I kind of talked already about my concerns about this game, and I mean, I'm not sure how. I mean, I don't know if it'll translate to the next games. I just think it's again something that we learned from. But I feel like the defense is like a thing that hasn't like shown too much improvement. I feel like every game the defense is making some mistakes or just looking very sloppy. I think the Barcelona's concede. The Barcelona always concede first, it seems. So yeah, it's just I think that just has to improve, of course. But I mean, we didn't talk about the Madrid dropping points, did we? And the red card and stuff. Because I was gonna mention that having that gap would definitely be important for Barcelona going to the next Liga game, giving them a lot of momentum. Even coming off this win, Barcelona a lot of momentum going to a Liga game. So playing Osasuna next at home too. So that just gives Barcelona so much more. I'd say more just energy, do well. The atmosphere is much better. Having Madrid going out like that in the last game with losing and dropping points, but also with two red cards. So their next game versus I believe Alaves, they're gonna miss all their fullbacks due to either injury or red card. So if that definitely helps Barcelona, I guess. Have a lot of hope and have a lot of hope for the Liga and just I give them something to keep in mind. They're gonna feel more secure, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned the Celta Vigo game. I mean, I was watching that live, and honestly, that was one of my best hate watches of the season and honestly ever. I mean, looking at that Swedberg goal, I think the first goal he scored was really, really good. A great finish. I mean, what a technique from him. It was kind of like a back heel kind of flick, which was really good to see. And then that second goal, I mean, at that point, Madrid fully lost their heads. They got two red cards, silly red cards, and I think that second goal was just classy. I think that Iago Aspas, that pass he made from Iago Aspas, that was so impressive. And then again, Swedberg just rounding Courtois and then kind of just running it into the net, which was kind of crazy to see. And I do think, like, in I guess fairness to Madrid, I think the whole club itself, they're kind of losing their heads right now. A lot of blame is being placed on like players like Mbappe, players like Bellingham, players like Vinny. So yeah, a lot of like head loss in their end. But I mean, this is good for us. I mean, I even mentioned it before the Celta Vigo game. I was hoping that they would drop points, and it just seems like they're dropping a lot of points recently. So good to see. And tomorrow, I mean, they're facing City, so that's going to be really interesting. But knowing Madrid, I think randomly they might even just get a result against City. But I do hope they lose like maybe 3-0, 4-0, because honestly, right now City look in great form and Madrid are kind of the opposite right now. And I mean, hopefully, like looking from a Barca perspective, this is really good for us. I mean, going to La Liga, you mentioned we're facing Osasuna, and then we have like a Copa del Rey, I guess, fixture, I think. And so after that, we have Villarreal. So that's going to be a pretty hard game. So I guess getting our lead as big as possible is going to be really important, especially when we have big games like Villarreal soon. So I guess yeah, hopefully Madrid keep dropping points and Barca keep winning games. Any other thoughts to finalize this, wrap up this game?
I guess I'll talk about this game. I mean, honestly, not much. I think we kind of covered everything. I think it was just probably one of Barca's, I guess, underwhelming performances. Obviously, could be improved, and I mean, not much to really say. I'm kind of curious on why De Jong isn't really starting, but maybe there's a reason for that. We probably don't know yet, but the midfield right now is kind of working at the Eric and Pedri. I think it's still pretty good. I think Pedri is really all you need, but having Eric, who I think is very very solid, very good player, definitely helps. I think the attack has to do better, and I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of hard when someone like Lamine Yamal is being guarded by so many players, and it's hard for him to really get past, really do much, if like there's so many guys crowding him. But I also think today though he was able to take on a lot of people and just get past them. So he has that quality. So I think it will like improve. I think we will see more from him. And also Tuna, he'll probably get more GA. So yeah, I guess that's really all I'll say about Barcelona.
And yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up our episode for today for about the Frankfurt game. So let us know your opinions. Let us know how you guys think we're gonna do in the Champions League if we have a chance to get in the top eight. And hopefully our La Liga dreams of winning it back to back is gonna come true because Madrid honestly do not look in good form. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys think, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.